rude. That's incredibly rude.
Fortnite doesn't have
a
small PvE development team, and stop making false allegations against Fortnite.
They did. Ever since they shut down Paragon, they took a quarter of those employees and put them on the PvE team. That was actually technically 3 people.
And all the people they put on there was the marketing team.
Possibly. But, I don't think so, though, because, I think they'd want them still marketing Fortnite Battle Royale.
So Moe.
There's more money to be made there.
So we're talking about Megami now?
No, I'm not. What? No, So Moe is No More Heroes 2 Black Chick. Blueberry? I don't know.
No More Heroes.
Yeah, No More Heroes 2.
What is that?
The black chick that falls around the guy.
Oh, I've never actually seen it.
She goes, so Moe, because she doesn't understand what Moe is, but she just says it because Travis does. Yeah. It's fun. No More Heroes is a decent game. 2 starts out a bit weird, but ends up being good.
I don't know. It's a Wii game.
You can play it with a GameCube controller.
I didn't. Here's the thing. I owned like a Wii, but it broke in 2 days, so we just got a refund and ended that.
Mm-hmm.
So No More Heroes is not on my repertoire. But all I've seen is gameplay of No More Heroes 1.
Mm.
And the best final boss ever.
Sure. I'll say that.
It's the best.
No.
It was the best.
My brain, for whatever reason, immediately went to Drakengard 3.
Oh.
Which is not.
That was a good boss.
No!
2.
No, it wasn't.
It was a dick move.
It wasn't a good boss. It's a pretty boss. When you're watching it, it's fun. Playing it isn't. Playing it is hellish.
I'll humor you. It's on. Is it on Xbox One?
No.
Still.
It's on PS3.
What's it on?
PS3.
Oh, I can't play it then.
Yeah. Shame.
Is it on?
Real shame.
Is it on Steam?
No.
No. Oh.
I would have cheated for gold if that was the case. I might have beaten it by now, actually.
You can always emulate it, man. There's always a solution.
No, I don't like PS. I haven't found a good PS3 emulator, anyways.
Which one?
I tried to.
Some of them don't work.
Demon Souls.
Which one?
And
PSP, you said?
PS3.
No, PS3.
PS3. Oh, no, there aren't really good ones after they all kind of.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just scoured it because I wanted to play Demon Souls, but
I have to sit into a very weird position. Alright, once this train goes by, my mic stops freaking out.
Okay, by the way, just, I thought, I never stated this, so it's my fault, but, I watched all the seasons of KonoSuba.
I did too.
Yeah.
You did?
I didn't.
You just watched the first part?
I just watched the first part. I thought that's what we were doing. I didn't think we'd be stalled for a week and a half.
You watched the second half of it, right?
I did a long time ago, so I'll be able to kind of keep up with you guys. But I didn't watch it recently.
No, I'll put that part in, so that's addressed. Yeah. But you've still seen... It doesn't matter, because there's not a whole lot to talk about in the second half anyways. It's a lot more of the same.
There's not a whole lot. I don't really have much to say in general anyway.
Sure,
so.
I'll tell you the art.
No.
I know what happens. I know what happens.
Who wants to start out? Poison, do you want to start out because this was your suggestion, or?
Yeah, sure, fuck it. Okay, so I recommend KonoSuba purely for Shadow, see how he would react.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of have a stick up his ass, and I could tell by how he commented it passively aggressively over the 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. I liked that twice.
I think it's more about the fact that it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah. Maybe. The 1 week delay was a bit of annoyance.
Why did you recommend the show for Shadow's reaction? What do you think Shadow's reaction to the show was going to be?
A bunch of bland comedy.
Bland comedy?
Yeah, something like that.
Bland comedy?
Yeah. Shadow's taking that into consideration. Probably going to start his first sentence with that. It's probably going to start his first sentence like, this is...
I actually don't know how to respond to that. I mean, yes, it is bland comedy.
I don't...
I'll give it that.
It's just comedy. A gag show. What do you expect?
I know.
So
And I get enjoyment out of Gexus. I want to see if he could.
So
Because it was
here's where my opinion lies on this. My completely unbiased opinion, which is quite frankly, I don't have much stock in unbiased opinions ever, because that's not you as a human being. So what's the point of the opinion? But my unbiased opinion, because some people will care immensely about this, is actually about it's a 6 out of 10. Like, it doesn't...
fair.
And the only reason it's a 6 is because of Megumi, is the only really decent designed character in there. It's the only thing that pushes above being completely just washed away in the tide of hundreds and thousands of others.
See, I disagree with you in that regard.
Alright?
I think the characters are well designed in their concepts.
Yeah.
Each character is set up basically, in my opinion at least. The show makes fun of a couple things. They make fun of kind of the concept of going to a new world. Okay, and it makes fun
because it was over this time, it was oversaturated. I'm sorry.
It was, yes. This was when there was a lot of going over to New World animes coming out. Yes. But it also makes fun of another thing, which I think is just kind of MMO games in general. The way they set up the class systems, the way they talk about stats, the way they talk about skills. But just the whole presence of the entire starter village kind of takes you part of a really shitty MMO. Okay? I think all the characters are designed to make fun of that aspect. Okay, Megami, first time you ever play a mage, you hit level 6, they give you an AoE spell, you blow up 5 enemies, you freak out, and you run around, you blow up 20 more, and then you get bored because you realize it's pointless. She takes it to the extreme.
Yeah, because that's all the characters, I'd say.
Yeah,
they're all
exactly. That's what they all do. They're all there, and then Aqua is just our simple. She's just simple with tits. I'm sorry, it's the truth. It's a bad ending.
Simple isn't competent
in
anything.
Simple is a very... I know, that's just true.
I know.
Basically, Aqua is just basically the most noobiest of persons ever, who also has a big head. She's a big-headed noob who's full of herself.
Kind of paid to play
she started off at a really advanced class. But that's what she is. All right? Darkness is just when you're playing a tank and you literally feel invincible. And she takes it a step further to where she just happens to also be a masochist, which is kind of her joke. I think the characters are well designed because they all go well into their joke. Everything about this show is well designed, the concept that it leads to a certain joke. They don't really do anything in this show that doesn't lead to a joke in and of itself. Even in the first episode, where they're mentioning the faiths and how each faith has their own religion, that ties into a joke later. It ties into a lot of jokes later on.
Yeah.
Especially in the second half. Little things they talk about always tie into a joke. So I think the show is well written. I think it's a good show in that concept. And I don't got an issue with that. I think the show is funny, but really, I'm going to say I'd probably give it like an 8 because I think it is a good show and what it does. But it just does it in a very basic way. Just caught everyone's heart, and it was brought out at a good time.
Yeah,
important part of it.
So,
because what other animes came out at that time? I want to say ReZero was out.
Never seen
it. It's another go to another world, but instead of a good premise, the character dies.
One sec.
He just closes his eyes, and he's in a new world. That part's dumb. It's more of a mental thing.
It's... But 1 sec.
You looking for something?
All
right. Do you know the blue hair?
Okay. So,
yep, you go.
Okay.
So
Rudded's thing kind of leads a bit back into mine. My biased opinion about the show, it ends up being a 2. It takes such a heavy, deep step because all the jokes that may have been funny to others people as a psychologist kind of pissed me off to no end. And I think that could be very apparent from even the first sentence that I said because if you've seen the show, you can understand why this would piss me off to that degree.
I've seen the show and I don't understand why it piss you off to this degree.
Really? I mean, Darkness is probably the primest example.
Well, no, that's just to force you to read it and explain.
What? I didn't hear you.
That was just to let you explain further.
Okay. But everyone's this show is being recorded under the pretense that everyone has seen this show, though. We're not a spoiler cast. This isn't a spoiler cast. Everyone's seen it.
If you haven't seen it, I recommend go watch it.
The people who want to spoil it are going to spoil it anyways at this point. Like, they're not going
to... We already spoiled it. Okay, so...
Yeah, we just explained the characters.
Comment earlier, ReZero came out 2 years? Or a year, I'm sorry. About a year and a season after KonoSuba. So KonoSuba was around for over a year before ReZero came out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the first season or the second season?
Yep, first season of KonoSuba. It was out for over a year.
Okay.
KonoSuba came out first episode was released April 2015.
Really?
First episode of ReZero was June 2016. Sorry. June 2016. So
so it hit like right in the middle.
Over a year before then.
Because I think like ReZero was the high note end to the Going to Another World animes.
No, the High Note to the Other World anime is still going on, dude.
Yeah.
It's still a very
that's been around for
theme they're
years
hitting
and
on.
won't stop.
Well, I'm saying it started like 4 years ago. It's still going pretty strong. That's still like the main theme.
Well, I remember Jinzo.
Well, they've been around, but they haven't been like the staple to go to. They became to go to about 3-4 years ago.
Oh,
yeah, no.
Robin's going to suggest you can watch it. This is what this is leading into.
No, he's not.
No.
He's already got his. He already got his choice.
That'd be amazing. Hey, I would be down for you to watch it.
We would not.
I would be down for the whole 800 episodes and 100 movies. Okay, I would love it.
No. I'm a masochist.
Dude, fucking Kikome and shit, like that'd be amazing.
I'm a masochist, but I'm not into that much pain. Okay.
So.
Okay.
Let's go about the characters real quick. The protag, which is the brown-haired kid on the left, Kazuma. Kazuma. He is the most intolerable piece of shit in existence because he doesn't take any chances to learn or forgive or do anything, and he's the same character from the very first episode onwards. He does not change once in all of his time.
I'll get that.
I don't think there's any arguments to that.
Does change?
What?
Well, there is something that's off in the anime that does make his character seem a little weird. Because in the original content, he's actually 20 years old.
Yeah, because the voice actor does not sound like he's a teen. He sounds like he's fucking 80 almost. It's ridiculous.
He's supposed to be 20 years old, actually, which kind of explains the extra lazy mentality. He's been a NEET for like 5-6 years.
So did they just get the voice actor and then they changed the script and they didn't want to get a new voice actor? Is that what happened?
No,
he's a well-regarded voice actor.
Look, no. Basically, the voice actor, I don't know what he was doing, but basically the concept of the character kept changing every time they reiterated the show. Like the original web novel, he was 20. In the light novel, he was 18, and now the anime made him 16. I don't know why they keep making him younger, but they don't change his personality to match it. So it's like, this doesn't seem like a 16-year-old who's been a NEET for maybe a year. But when you think like, okay, he's done nothing for 4 more years now, like, yeah, his main goal is to sit around and do shit because he doesn't want to, because that's what he's always done. You know, and that kind of explains and makes his character make a little bit more sense.
And it feels like what my main gripes were with the show were kind of alleviated in the original format, because it sounds like the original format was intended to be a coming out of this shut-in's life. Yeah. And him getting more and more used to be. Whereas this show is playing it all for a joke. Which
it's weird. It's like,
because being a shut-in and a NEET is like actually life-ruining. It can kill you. Like, it's really fucking terrible.
It doesn't.
And the fact that it kind of glorifies it at times is really weird, and I never really understood. And they kept making it a joke, and I'm like, what are you doing? This is actually a big problem in Japan and everywhere else.
It is, and that's why they're making fun of it, though. That's the point of making fun of it. They're trying to make fun of it. But
this is the kind of show that a shut-in would watch, though, because the tits or ass are just everywhere. So this would actually attract them, and it would make them feel worse about. And it's not going to help their situation. It's playing into the same thing that's their problem, though.
Yeah, but at the same time, it might lead to self-realization. But the point of the show isn't to help needs. It has no goal.
No,
of that.
no, the show doesn't. The original may have been somewhat, but
the original might have had some
this is
underlining
not
theme
at all.
into it. You know, because also in the original web book, he was also a lot more perverted. His perversion acts went a lot further and were way more exaggerated than they are in the anime.
Mm-hmm.
You
the
know,
only one
basically,
you get in the anime is the pool
any
scene.
perverted. The pool scene. You also have the shower scene with darkness.
What are you talking about? The pool scene?
Oh,
The
yeah.
pool scene isn't that bad. How about him actively
is.
stealing characters' panties at multiple times in like the first 5 episodes and waving them around in public places? How about that?
Yeah.
You say that instead. And even though when he knows he stole Megumi's, he still has them out on display in front of everybody and doesn't try to hide them or doesn't be nice. He just displays them.
No, because he's a dick.
Yeah.
And it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not funny. It's I want to shoot that person.
Not funny to you, but it is funny to 80% of people. That's the thing. There's a huge group of people who find that really funny. Now, you personally don't, I understand, because, you know, you're not into this more off-the-wall, just very random and idiotic humor, you know, but a lot of people are, and that's who it's intended for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aqua deserves to be shotgunned. Does anyone else disagree?
I couldn't agree anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
In
If
all
you
honesty,
took Aqua
was
out
like-
of the episodes, this would be a 25% as long as it is.
Yep.
She is
It'd
the
be
root of almost all the
25%
problems
long,
and is
it
infuriating.
wouldn't change anything. That's the thing. It's like it wouldn't change anything for the show.
No, it would.
Like-
Most of the second half of the show wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
A good
When they
portion
go
of
to
it
her
wouldn't.
Her village.
Yeah.
Quotation.
That little part, yes. That
Her
part,
village,
but
no,
they
but
could
also the
still go to
damage
the
she
village.
did to the
They
walls.
could, they could still go to the village. I mean, and there's
So
still
I
Aqua
know
worshippers.
neither of you are
There's no
going
joke
to
about
go
Aqua
any
being
further
there.
into this, and I'll just add you. The Demon Lord. It's heavily hinted at that she made
It's a little girl.
someone that's.
It's a little girl. Isn't it?
No, it could be.
It's
a little
always
girl,
a
I don't know.
little girl, and then he's gonna win
No,
by
it's
being
hinted at
perverted. And
someone she sent to that world is what he's saying.
No,
That's
this isn't the ending of Naruto.
what-
hey, that was funny, at least.
Was it?
Yeah, it actually
Was it
was,
really?
because it was Sasuke doing something that he fucking despised. To freak
But,
out the enemy so they get the upper hand. It was actually kind of funny and well done in that. That's why I wish that there was a Naruto Kai.
But
we can dream.
yeah, we can dream
Continue,
about
Poison.
that. It's heavily hinted at that it's someone that basically is a Kazuma that just wished for ultimate power. So he, or apparently he thinks it's going to be a lolly, just became the Demon Lord. Now everyone after is just like, oh, can you go kill this person?
It's possible, but who knows?
No, it's like
In all
heavily
honesty.
hinted at.
I mean, it seems like the solution to that would just be give somebody equal power who's a good guy, and then...
Just literally like tell somebody like, hey, can you just wish for more ultimate power? Perfect.
Or like, or give him fucking, DiGiorno's
Yes, but
power
it's
where he
Aqua.
just cancels out everyone else's power.
Yes, but it's Aqua.
It is Aqua.
No, it's multiple goddesses. They rotate in there.
I think Aqua was the one who was doing it. The other
That
one
makes
just
sense,
rotated
of course.
in because Aqua had to go to the world.
But I mean, Eris was
She
there,
spent-
even though another goddess was supposed to be there.
She spent
Instead.
10 minutes mocking him, making the same jokes over and over again. I thought that got a little
That
redundant
was
in the
infuriating.
beginning. Like, it was funny the first time she mentioned it, just kind of like how ironically insane
The
his
fact
death
that it
was.
kept going
That
up
was
to
kind of
episode
funny,
20 was
but the
just...
fact that
I hated
she-
it.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
every
the fact that she
time...
repeated it 3 times annoyed me.
Like, she never gave any thanks, Kazuma never gave any thanks, and they were just the same characters for the whole
Mm-hmm.
this show. Every time she got in danger, she screamed Kazuma, but then the first chance she was even in a normal position, she would insult Kazuma. It's like...
They were friendly
That's-
one time.
That's just her being yandere.
It was
Yeah,
terrible is
yeah.
what it was. It was...
Let's just accept
It
it.
was
That's what they're
horrendous.
trying to make her, and it's just kind of it's weird the way they set it up. But it's just there for jokes. The random insults are most meant to be like little giggles. Is there hope from it? Like again, like as I said, everything in this show is literally set up into a show, and that's one of the biggest issues. They spend too much time trying to be funny while trying to be actually a good anime.
I think it's good anime because it's funny.
Ugh. Megami.
Oh, it's just funny entertainment, but the anime itself's not that great. Eventually, everything's gonna get old.
Oh yes, it's not a long-lasting one.
Jokes that they keep. It's not gonna be long-lasting. That's the issue. It's not gonna have the longevity because it's not a well-made anime.
I don't see how people would look back on this and say, "I want to watch this every year."
Set up.
Like,
yeah, it's not one of those animes. Not every anime has to be one of those animes.
A really quick joke.
No, but I don't see anyone ever wanting to watch
this.
this.
That's the whole point of the show.
I wanted to watch it. I wanted you to watch it. I thought it was.
So one quick joke to the next, just like as Shadow said, the panty scene. But there's other ways to be funny though, and actually have a good back underwriting story, and still keep a lot of humor.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to do that though.
It doesn't have to, but this show acts like it wants to run a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we got Send You, which is a short running show, which is the same thing, but it lets you know it's not a long running show.
Send you.
This show acts like it wants to be a long running show, like it wants to run 10, 12 seasons, but it's doing a format as if it wants to run 3 or 4.
Yeah. Which is...
It's trying to have its cake and eat it too.
With characters that don't develop, that don't change, that are incredibly one note, and never adhere to anything else.
Well, no. We got some character development at the end of season 1.
Who?
Episode 11, we got Darkness. She said her full name.
Yeah.
Character development.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Like I said, it wasn't supposed to be that type of anime.
Characters are supposed to develop, otherwise your show should be a season at most.
The problem is you either got to develop your show and expand your show, or you got to end it early.
Attack on Titan approach, where it was meant to be just a one season and test the waters, and people liked it, so they gave it a second season. Yeah, didn't have that second season planned out the get-go.
Yeah, but you see, Attack on Titans, the problem is this also has multiple books before the anime anyway, so the content was written in this concept to begin with, and the anime is just taking from that content. Okay, so it isn't like they made the presentment oh shit, we need to write a second season now, because they already had all the content for the second season laid out. There's several books out for KonoSuba. The books have been around. I'm just saying, as an anime, they didn't take the story doesn't match a long running anime, but it make it look like it wants to be a long running anime.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying about it. And the content they got doesn't work in that regard, and they're not trying to mess with the content or maybe alter it in some slight ways that might add more to it to make it more interesting. Because the most world building we had was when the first season, the Demon King's general decided to sit in the castle. Megami wanted to blow up every day, regardless of knowing that the city was going to be destroyed. Which was funny.
Castle.
One of my better examples.
It was funny the first time it was funny the first time he showed up. Then the second time it was kind of like,
oh, you're running the same joke again. That's cool.
It's like you're really doing the same joke. And half an episode later, really?
One of the best examples I have
had
of the characters that you're focusing on being the wrong people to focus on. The Lich that was in the dungeon was such a better, more interesting character, and he was there for what, 5 minutes?
No, he comes back.
He was. No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he comes. Yeah, he does.
Not in season 2.
Wait, are we talking about
the Lich
same one, the mask guy?
in the dungeon?
He's talking about in the dungeon.
The Lich, the guy who was originally in the dungeon, who made the dungeon to hide from the king with his wife, that he stole from the king.
Yeah, I remember, and then he ends up possessing darkness.
No. The original Lich that was in the dungeon that made the dungeon. Not the guy that had the mask on. The original guy that was in the dungeon that created that Kazuma thought there was an issue in the dungeon because Aqua created another seal to purify him.
Yeah, and it made all the things go awry.
Well, it didn't that time. It was just the guy. He just couldn't get in there. I guess kind of did.
Yeah, no, there's a bunch of serious stories going on, but it's through the eyes of gag characters. For instance, the what's it called? The one, what's his name? I'm trying to say his exact name. Where he was just there, you could tell it's a serious story through his actions, but they just played it off and basically made his story seem. If you guys talk a little bit, I'm gonna go find him.
Oh,
I had no.
You were
idea
doing
what
vague
scene
character
was
descriptions, and I was just like, "What?"
I know.
You
Give me a
vaguely
second.
described a character
From
and not
any
even a
show.
situation.
I know.
All right, so
okay,
I'll just start going
yeah,
through the episodes then. Oh wait, we didn't talk about
Episode
Megumi
one
and
was
Darkness. Shit. Megumi's pretty
episode
one note.
Basically, just Megumi's literally one note.
Yeah,
as
she
I
actually
said.
doesn't.
you know.
She actually doesn't change and doesn't really show. The only thing that
No.
changes about her is that she does show some compassion towards Kazuma, but that's about it.
Yeah,
Apart from that,
that's
it's
kind of
just
like
basically
little
nothing.
sister to big brother,
Yeah.
because I mean, how long they're around each other at that point.
Also, just to say, you guys, the author says there's gonna be no season 3. So
Good. Doesn't
But
deserve it.
There
There's already rumors
does.
online about a season 3 with a potential release date.
Shameful.
Well,
Doesn't
the
deserve it.
authors-
Start up a Kickstarter.
So I mean, again, if there's
Kickstop.
enough money, the author's opinion doesn't matter in this regard. But anyways,
Get enough signatures to stop something. I'll put money in to stop that.
I'm down for 5. Nah.
Darkness, I'm
regardless.
probably going to talk about a bit later, so we can just talk about her then, because I'm going to rant about it.
Okay, so right now,
Episode
there's
one.
not really much character. Okay, episode 1 is just Kazuma is dying and getting introduced to the world.
The show
Half the
pissed me off in the
episodes-
first 2 minutes and... No, 2 minutes, like 50-something seconds in the first episode, where the Grim Reaper, essentially, is sitting there just all day judging people who died and letting them go on and telling them where they go and stuff. She thinks that Kazuma's death is bizarre. That's unbelievably fucking bullshit. Now, I'm a little bit ill, so I don't have the energy right now that my text does, but it's the stupidest thing ever that somebody who judges deaths and sees deaths to see that and go like, yep, that's the bizarre one, that's the one I'm gonna insult, because it's not. It's actually relatively tame, all things considered.
from a heart attack from a tractor.
Yeah, that's called shock.
well, the
You can get that if you
problem
walk
is
into a cold tub.
Yeah, his perspective is just literally he saw a bus. And she knows he saw a bus. That's the thing.
Yeah, she knows what he thought he saw.
He thought he saw a bus, and he was pushing the girl away from the bus. And when he pushed her, he thought he was about to get hit by a bus, which caused his body to go into shock.
And then when he
caused him to
died,
have
he
a
pissed
heart
and shit
attack.
himself. It's not
Because
uncommon
that's
for
what
that to
happens
happen. It's
literally
very
when you
common for
die.
that to happen.
Literally happens when you die.
Yeah.
Your body loosens up in your
So the
bowels
fact
and
that she's going, ah, that's so funny. No, it's not.
Because it's
That's
funny to
infuriating. You're the Grim Reaper.
normal
You should
people,
know
that's
more.
why. It's funny when we're hearing about it. It seems funny to normal people. That's why. Again, you're putting too much thought into a show.
That's intended
Because
to just shut your head off and just blindly stare at it.
You gotta be brain dead when you're watching it. You can't watch the show seriously because even in episode, 4, he meets the guy who has the sword, Graham, right? It's 4 or 6.
Yeah.
When he's coming back with Aqua.
No, that's 5.
Is it 5?
5.
It was somewhere around there. But yeah, he meets him, and he's the strongest person in that village, and he knocks him out with just the weight of his own sword.
He steals his sword.
That doesn't matter. He's like level 46. He has enough vitality to take a hit from his own sword landing on him.
With no actual pressure and just...
Force, because Kazuma has no physical strength because he was a level 6 adventurer at the time.
Who couldn't even hold him. That's why it fell in the first place. Because
He couldn't hold the sword regardless because that was a cursed sword.
Yeah.
That guy was the only one who could wield it. But regardless.
Episode 2 is when
It's
the
like,
full gang gets
okay,
together, so we can kind of skip
Again,
over
that proves to you cannot even attempt to think about what the show. You have to be 100% brain dead when you watch it.
That is the
If
exact
not,
opposite
you're
of what
gonna
I
start
do.
picking it apart.
That is the exact opposite.
You're gonna pick it apart, and you're gonna get annoyed by it. Because that's the whole point of the show.
Yeah.
You
My
know,
notes are
I felt like that was the best scene to kind of like use as an example for that, because that is literally like the dumbest thing ever. Because it does go off of like an RPG world. So, no.
So before I wrote something entirely different, but like my notes are awful because I thought we were just gonna do it, and I watched it real close to when it was done, so my notes are
Yeah,
absolutely
I know.
atrocious.
We know. We understand the situation.
Yep.
I wrote the voice actor is nowhere near his age that he's supposed to be, but I already talked about that. So I believe I'm going to go into how the previous one where... So there's some decent moments, a few. One in particular that I'm going to point out is when Darkness is thinking about her past and where she was. And Wiz needs a recharge. So Kazuma just takes it from Darkness. But that's fall gag humor. That's literally the lowest kind. That's one of the lowest kinds of humor, intentionally, because it's just slapstick. But it was the closest thing to comedy that this show did, and didn't ruin it instantly. Like, for instance, when he steals her panties in the first time that happens, and he teaches stealing, he steals her panties accidentally, he's like, oh, this was a crit success. I did a simple ha. And then when it went to him waving her around, it's like, I hate this character. I hate everything about this character. My brain didn't stop on that.
The first time I could understand because it was just the excitement of, I got it to work. Yeah! Woohoo! You know what I mean? Like, it was just that kind of philosophy. And again, I like to look at him as a web novel to where it's a 20-year-old need who hasn't seen a girl in freaking 6 years. Yeah. That's the perspective I had. And that makes a lot more sense than that joke then. Again, I think changing character age totally changes on how these jokes are perceived. The things that annoyed me about the show is that there was no reason to change his age. It does nothing but bad things for even the jokes. I feel like it waters down some of the jokes. If you think he's 20,
by the way,
he's been a nit for over 5 years. You know what I mean? And then he does it. You can understand him being super like, yeah, I got panties, and then waving them in the air. It kind of would make more sense. I don't know. It just feels like it would make more sense to me. Like, rather than the high schooler who's literally been skipping school for 6 months before he died. I don't know. Go ahead, Poison. Talk about your dude.
It was the Darkness's fiance. I couldn't find his name.
That is a lot later. That's season 2.
Yeah, I know.
That's like mid-season 2.
Yeah.
Not fiance. It was her arranged marriage partner. What about him?
Yeah.
Where you can kind of see, like, he kind of goes through his life, and you can kind of like, oh, this guy's a real dude. He's not an asshole. He's like got those old timey, I was about to say good feels, but those old time like aristocrat values. And you can kind of see like he was raised for that, and he was expecting the same thing out, and it plays off the darkness. Yeah, the horse from Skyrim, so I can't remember. So you can kind of like get what it was trying to do, where it's trying to play off a serious note through darkness, and how she's I was about to say head over heels, but head over whip would probably be better for darkness. But yeah, that's the end of that. It was a very one note thing, which is why it was hard to remember who he was.
I'm kind of confused as to why you brought that up.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, I got kind of confused.
Around the world, the world is serious, and it's just through the eyes of gag characters.
I don't know. Well, I don't really see many people in that world being serious.
Yeah, in all honesty, but in all honesty,
even the Lich, when he was, who I think is one of the better characters, fucking looks at his dead fiance and look at her, she's still got a great collarbone, ain't I a lucky guy? And he's all happy and cheerful, and that's like,
because his love interest, love of his life just died.
Has been dead for eons, and he's been waiting to decay.
That's not a joke you would make in that situation.
Yeah, that was the closest kind of.
And every single adventurer in the city
is a joke. Like the big tough guy he runs into is actually like what a tailor or something.
Yeah, it's like none of the characters in this world are serious. There was just one moment where one person talked about a serious past. One person in the whole show for one moment. Even like at the start of season 2 when they came in, they arrested Kazuma because when they transported the giant spider of doom and the court accidentally went to a noble's house and blew it up, or a lord's house and blew it up, and he was arrested. That whole court was just literally, the whole court system was literally meant to be a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nothing in that world is meant to be taken serious. They had one moment where they pretended to have one character serious just for the characters to mock them later for it. But regardless, like, nothing in this show is serious. So you can't say it's a serious world because you had one literal minute-long scene over 20, half-hour episodes, 20 18-minute episodes.
He was there for the whole episode, so 20 minutes.
But
He was there for like
that
half.
one scene he was serious though. It was just that one scene when he was talking about it. But regardless, like, you can't say the world is serious through the eyes of gag characters when these gag characters are surrounded by gag characters who are then associating with more gag characters.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's more of showing how
event,
weird it would be if a real person was in this world.
Yeah, no, basically it's like this person went to a game. Like a perverted NEET went into a game world, and this is kind of how they would more realistically act, especially if everything didn't go their way. Like in a lot of them, everything goes to main heroes.
I thought
way.
him
They
bitching
always,
about that was so fucking annoying. Constantly.
You know what I mean?
Like,
I thought it was funny the first
I
two
want him
times.
to show me the one fucking RPG that you don't have to grind and do stupid bullshit for the first 2 hours. I want him to show me that, and I would love to play it. Because almost every RPG that I've ever fucking played has been stupid bullshit for the first 10, if it's a 3-hour RPG, 10 minutes, or if it's a 6, 7, 8, 9, it's like the first 2 hours is stupid bullshit that doesn't matter. I would really love for him to explain what game he was playing that was just the most streamlined, perfect RPG.
I was about to say Nier Automata, but
no.
Yeah.
God, no.
But it's a joke more towards these heroes go to a new world themes, though. And like,
That's just
for
bad
example,
net coding, or not net coding,
just like-
program.
Yeah, but so like SAO, for example, how Kirito went to his world, how everything went just about perfect for him. And even when things got bad, it works out in an advantage for the end. Always ends up better than before.
Like when his girlfriend
Kind
died.
of like that. It always moves forward and up. Never gets like knocked really down. There's only one time, maybe two if you want to stretch it. One was when his guild died. The second one, you could say, when he lost to the dude towards the end of the first season. But it always moved. He was always moving forward, and everything always seemed to work out for him. Where Cosma is the opposite, where he went to a new world, and nothing seems to work out for him.
No, things worked out pretty well. He
It's
has
two problems.
3
It's more
OP
real
party
life than it
members.
should be.
He ends up rolling in money at multiple
Not OP.
times.
They're not OP. Megumi's not OP. Darkness isn't OP.
No, but when
Aqua
you use
definitely
them for
isn't
their
OP.
strengths, they're OP. That's the whole point. You don't take
Yeah,
every job.
The situations
You
work
only
out
use
perfectly.
certain
Like, a
things.
water
You only do
goddess
certain
fighting
things.
a headless horseman who's weak against the water. Yes.
And he
in that
picked like one of the
situation.
stupidest progression paths ever for being somebody who was like, I'm going to take the value talents. First person that comes up to him, oh, I'm a thief. I can give you some talents. First skill she shows him, oh, sure, I'll take that talent. What the fuck is wrong with you? You said you were going to take value talents. You take the first things that come to you every time. Like Wiz even,
because
Drain
he's a
Touch,
NEET.
takes it immediately. Becomes a fucking thief, archer,
NEET.
mage? What the fuck is that?
He's at home doing nothing. He doesn't want to go out looking for people to teach him proper skill.
It's fucking stupid, though. Like, for somebody who played games, this dude's a fucking moron. And doesn't know anything about games. Period. He takes nothing of value
And sadly,
and always does the
he is one
stupidest
of the
shit.
smartest people in the world. And
Yeah,
that's
which is
kind of a
annoying.
thing about the world. Yeah. No, I get where you're coming from, but it's like, again, it's just to a perspective of NEET. Playing a game and going around clicking around in a game is different from having to get up your lazy ass and actually walk around a town and find other adventures and have proper conversations with people and then barter with them for a price if they want to charge you something to teach you a technique. That's completely different. That's a lot more work. He's a very lazy person. That's literally said in the first 10 seconds.
I didn't get that at all, and I just fucking hated the fact that he just every time.
You know what I mean?
Every single time.
You gotta understand that. That's more to them actually staying true.
I have a feeling it's more bad writing than that, but sure.
I think it's a little bit of both. It just stays perfectly true to the character. They wrote the character in a way to which they can cut corners like that. And that's what it was. He was written so they could cut those corners. So they didn't have to have those serious moments because the show's not meant to be taken serious because nothing but one character is serious in this whole entire show.
Yeah, and a lot of other shows have the ride around.
No, like a lot of shows do have the ride around.
Like instead of watching Vegeta train for 30 or so odd days, you just saw him just get his hole blown through his chest. By Krillin. And suddenly he's stronger. So there's always those ride-arounds.
Well, there are, but usually, not
Dragon
as
Ball, I would
extreme
say there's others
in
that
this
are
case.
a
And
bit
that
stronger
is
than that, like
that came
Super
to
Saiyan
mind.
on Frieza was a bit of a... Oh, all of a sudden you can just do that. You're winning now.
Transform. He saw his friend die. It's all the S cells in him.
Yeah.
Don't forget about those S cells, man.
Fuck you.
Always gotta bring that up, don't you? Ruin a conversation.
I do have to
It
bring
just
it
keeps
up.
making
Yes,
it
you
so
brought
much worse
that up.
every time.
Don't forget, S cells are all about
The man
good
should
in
have
a
stopped
person.
talking about Super Saiyan
How
after
good
1.
and pure-hearted you are. How
Hey, you like
pure
Super
and
Saiyan 3 and
pure-hearted
you
you are.
No,
like Super Saiyan
I'm
No.
saying he should have stopped talking about it after 1. Because it's all the stuff that he says after 1 that makes it sound really stupid. Like S cells.
No. It's what they say in Super when they're teaching the other Saiyans. Super Saiyan. It's a feeling in the back of your neck, like.
It's why he needed to stop talking about Super Saiyan after it happened, where it was emotions, and then it was
you needed Krillin
Saiyan
to
cells.
die to get that
And
feeling
even though
in the back
Goku
of-
wasn't good at that time, in fact, he's killed a ton of people, and then Vegeta just doing it because he's on a fucking meteor and sad, and
because he had sex with a human
and gave him more S cells.
and it gave him more S cells.
It's fucking.
Maybe that's really the secret. You gotta have sex.
The more you
Again,
fuck the human.
half human.
You're getting
Sorry, we ran it off. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's just the S cells. In all
So
of
what
us.
you're
That's our
telling me
cheek
is
cells.
Broly is the most like
Oh,
ladies
he's an
man
inbred
ever.
motherfucker. Oh yeah, no, he went to Universe 6 and just raped all the females over there. That's Broly's backstory. That's why he didn't show up for so long.
that's where all
why
the
there
movie
was no-
characters are. They're in Universe 6.
That's why there was no
Or
Earth
Universe
in
7.
Universe 6. There was no Earth in Universe 6. Broly raped all the women and blew it up. Okay, regardless, back to KonoSuba.
Also, I like how you don't mention Bardock in there, the great scientist.
He had to go back in time. Now,
Yeah,
that's
he already went back in
technically not
time.
canon. That's a movie.
And he fucked the ancient Saiyans, so some weird shit happened.
Yeah. That's a movie. Technically, that's a movie, so that's actually not canon, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
I have brought you more food. This is a rock.
That never happened, Shadow.
I love
We
that.
always think of things that didn't happen.
Ugh.
Your father was a lazy boy, but amazing scientist.
Your father was a terrible warrior, but a brilliant scientist. As he throws the ball up in the air, it's just like, where was he? Because Goku's character is that of a child who's hit on the head. Oh, wait. Technically, Dragon Ball is one of the most brilliant shows ever because the primary character is somebody who is mentally disabled. So, in that regards, it's the longest running pro-mentally disabled people ever show. I mean,
Yeah, no,
gotta give
that
it props
definitely
where it
is when you
belongs.
look at that perspective. Mm-hmm.
Even though Goku is the most hated character in the show, but that's a bit of...
I don't hate Goku. Yeah, let's go back to Konos.
I didn't
Okay.
like him
Episode
later
6, there's a straight up eye of Sauron when Vernil, or whatever his name is, throws his head
That
up in
was
the
funny.
air. In the air.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm shocked
that's
they
funny.
didn't for that image. I thought they were gonna get sued for that image for
Yeah.
sure.
That was literally Sauron.
Like per pixel. I know. I
It's
know.
ridiculous too because the eye of Sauron you may not notice, but if you zoom in on it, it's actually Sauron's
Hmm?
head in the eye that makes the eye. And considering
Yeah.
that it was Vernil's head up there, that made the
Yeah.
I know.
We know.
7
Yeah.
Kazuma
Yes,
dies, and you basically find out that Kazuma's immortal because the one goddess can always resurrect him, and then the others will keep making loopholes.
Yeah, it's just like an RPG.
No.
It's like it's
in an RPG, when you die, you reload last save.
Yeah, but they're making.
You don't get to trade with the monster and go Worth. That's not what happens.
Let me go fight this.
He didn't trade with the monster, the snow demon.
He traded with the one queen, the runner queen, whatever it was, the runner lizard queen.
Oh yeah.
When it goes to dropkick, he arrows it in the head, and he's like, "Yeah, I did it. I'm gonna sit here celebrating, even though that forward momentum doesn't work like that." And it's like, "Wow, you're an idiot. Good job."
Again, that's the character.
He also trades with
stupidly
Acid Slime
excited
guy at the end, but
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what 7 was when he dies.
He dies from. I feel it's something with. Oh yeah, Megami pissed off the Shogun. That's where we first hate that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And then he gets beheaded.
Yep, he gets beheaded because everyone was too busy
for whatever
bowing
reason
their head
didn't drop his weapon.
Yeah, he wouldn't drop his weapon because he was kind of confused on what the hell was going on. Yeah, but
I'm gonna skip 8
met
because
the
I didn't
goddess
write
and she
anything
was
about
like,
it.
Hey, she's like, "Hey, I can fix this anime. I'll send you back to your world." And then no.
What do you want to
When
be
Epis,
reborn
or it was Epis, or was it Equus? It was Epis, right? I think it was Epis.
I don't remember her name.
She's like the best character in the show.
Eris?
Eris, yeah, Eris.
Yeah.
She's like the best character in the show.
Because she's
what she's supposed to be.
Joke. She's not a joke, and she doesn't have any screen time. Those are the two reasons.
She actually feels bad when he dies because he's like, "Oh, you went to this world to live a better life, but you died, and I'm sorry for that." And she's actually being nice and she's kind.
Then you get the weird things where
and it's like, why couldn't have you been Aqua?
He starts crying.
Because I would ruin most of the interactions with Aqua.
Because she would have never been taken to the world. He wouldn't have taken her, or he would have took power, and this would have been a completely different anime.
Yeah.
Destroyer was the Destroyer. I don't really have much to say about that. It goes into some other things, but nah.
We gotta go over the headless horse. The headless horseman before Destroyer. But,
what is there to talk about? He dies. Aqua blows up the walls. No, it's not that impressive. What do you want?
He stole his head.
Yeah.
His head.
Which is fine. I don't have
Yeah. Somehow
you're not winning any merits on that fight for me.
Soccer. They knew how to. Those people, those random adventurers, knew how to play soccer, man.
Yeah. Even though they've never done it before, and he had to explain it. They knew how to play soccer. The first dude he tossed it to was like fucking juggling it and shit. And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Man's got skills.
Impressive. That's what I was saying. Man.
Damn, that guy knows how to play with balls.
Oh, yeah. This is the one I was going to talk about. The Succubus episode. So, you're allowed to have the episode in this scenario. You're allowed to have it. But when you're doing it literally every single episode with Megumi, with Darkness, with Aqua. I mean, the most memorable moment for me of Aqua is her face down on the ground with a camera right next to her skirt. That's the most... that is shown, I think, at least 17 times in the show, where she's on the ground like that.
Yeah. No,
I don't know the exact count.
And the emphasis on the jiggle and everything. It's like, by the time you have that Succubus episode, I've already been so tired of this. I'm in another fucking time zone waiting for it to end. And you're still doing it in an episode now. It's so fucking annoying that it kept doing it and then tried to have it fucking, what is it, make the cake and ate it too?
Yeah.
Like they did it again with this. You're allowed it, you just blew your wad too early, too consistently. So you don't get that at this point.
Hey, I can get 2 pumps out.
It was so annoying. And then we have the whole scenario that the Succubus episode creates, where it's actually not that hard of an explanation. It's actually a very simple explanation that's very believable and very viable, where you might get a weird glance where you might get 1 or 2 weird glances during the explanation, but afterwards would be completely, yeah, okay. Like, any person who heard that would be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
For all the circumstances, it was like, yeah, he probably shouldn't have been that perverted, but an apology would pretty much fix that. because nothing really happened. So you're still at the point where apologies and I'll do something for you.
He could just play, like, he was able to play it off. You know what I mean? Like, he was able to easily play it off as if he didn't realize it happened.
But here's the thing, being truthful would have solved the problem more than what he did.
Would have built more of a camaraderie between the both of them, yeah.
Like, hey, it's been months. I haven't really had a good way to do this. They gave me an option. I took it. I'm sorry. I lit the lantern. I was asleep. I thought I was asleep. I didn't know. You came in.
You understand.
It's like, it's super easy to explain, and he just doesn't. And I get it, because if he's like a 20 to 25-year-old NEET, this makes more sense. But by God, in the way this is done, it's like he's a child. It's like he's a fucking 10-year-old trying to play off something that he got an easy explanation for. It's like, it's so fucking annoying.
Death from above.
Destroyer, he does the thing where he blows up the, sends it away with Wiz. Wiz is another fun character, but the way Wiz is usually used is, They usually use her for big titty jokes, and that's kind of...
Yeah, what do you have Darkness for that?
Not even... Well, Darkness's bust isn't actually that big. It's when she becomes in her civilian clothes for whatever reason... that that her bust grows 20 times for whatever reason.
Well, it's that old same thing with the armor pressing down. It's kind of like the thing with where ninjas tie their string around their breasts. You know what I'm talking about? That vague, bad explanations abound here. Kind of sick. Head not feeling so good. You looking it up?
No, I'm running my fingers across the numpad. I'm waiting for Rhoda to get back because it seems like he's having mic troubles.
Oh, okay. But
yeah, I was having some mic trouble. But Poison, you can't use that busting as an excuse because you know that wasn't intended as part of their explanation.
It was like, wow, look at how pretty she is now. When she was already beautiful before, so it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
The animators just got long as she grew as cup size. Yeah. That's what happened there.
But so Shadow, do you think Aqua has panties?
Yeah, she does because I saw them like 100 times.
She does, but in the book they go over how she makes them invisible so no one sees them.
Yes, because in the book you don't have direct panty shots, so they can say that.
Yeah.
Again, that's a courtesy you give to the artist that they couldn't have in the anime because there's so much fan service written in. They had to have the fan service in there.
So the trial was atrocious. It was basic. If you've ever seen any courtroom drama, that's basically what it was.
It was Phoenix Wright. That's literally what it was.
But like the worst part about it is that you're literally sitting there with the answer to all of your problems. He could have avoided going to court in the first place by just saying, I have no alignment with the Demon King. And boom. And then he can say, my only goal is to destroy the Demon King and build a pleasurable world for myself. Boom. Like, you solve all your problems by just phrasing. He knew that, and he even did it later, but only when the trial was going, not before. And he decided to be a stuck-up asshole to the one chick for no fucking reason, because he's him. It's like, ugh. So the trial ends with one of the grimmest things in the entire show that puts the darkest light on it. First off, and where I'm going to go to darkness on this. First off, masochism is usually, when you're masochistic, you don't get sexual pleasure from it usually. It's usually like a Daredevil scenario where you can only feel normal when you're doing that weird stuff. It's not, I feel this gives me sexual pleasure. That's not how it usually is. It's the only way I can feel normal is when I'm in pain. That's when they're elevated to the point where they feel normal. Otherwise, they're consistently depressed. That's why daredevils go through such extreme lengths to be normal for a moment.
Because they want the adrenaline.
Yeah, so they can feel normal again and feel like a regular human being for a brief moment in their life. It's not sexual pleasure, usually. No, it's incredibly rare.
It is funnier that way, though.
Is it? Because the scenario that they're doing after the trial is darkness is put into a position helping
Say
Kazuma,
this is so popular,
who has been nothing but an asshole the entire time, has been put into that position where she would normally be able to very easily defend herself, but in the position that they created, she's not able to defend herself because of a mental illness, a very severe life-threatening mental illness. So now you have a mentally ill person who cannot defend themselves being put into a rape joke at the main character's expense, who is like one of the worst garbage human beings ever. So basically the next 2 episodes, every single line of dialogue or every single joke that was ever made was immediately followed in my head. Wow, Darkness is being raped right now. This is fun. Is it just me, or do you understand how this is like fucking horrendous? Or is it just
I agree with you. I get what you're saying. What you're saying, Shadow.
Like, if she could defend herself, I would have faith in her, but she's not a regular person. She's Darkness. She has a mental illness. She can't if she wanted to, and she doesn't want to be in that situation because she doesn't want her purity to be whatever, and then they do that. It's like, that's not funny. That's not, what are you... Those 2 episodes pissed me off beyond belief.
And you're taking the show too serious. This is the problem. You're too analytical when you're watching stuff to be able to...
Again, that's what I am 100% of the time almost.
Show.
I very rarely...
Oh, no, I know you are. That's why I said, do you not remember what I said after you recommended this?
It's going to be terrible. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I had fun rewatching it.
It was one of the hardest, like, this is the
Poison.
beginning of where I actually had trouble watching episodes. Like, I had to go blow off steam for like 10, 20 minutes, and it's every time, just because this was so fucking infuriating. Like...
I told Shadow, I was like, this is literally, he feels like I did with Wolfram. Like, that's
It
the
wasn't.
situation.
I don't think it was that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad because...
No, but
it's
Wolf's
you.
Rain doesn't actually fucking go out of its way to be horrendous at any point. This goes out of its way to be horrendous and wants you to laugh with it. And it's not funny. It's disgusting. Did you think it was funny when she went in to go get raped? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Did you think that was funny?
Your mic cut out.
Did you think it was funny when she went off to go get raped? Did you think that was funny?
You're talking about with the payment?
No, at the end of the trial when she went with the guy.
That he thought was funny. That's the point. Like, you can't think into the show like, okay, no, so she's going to get raped. God, that's pretty fucked up. That's mentally scarring. It's like, no, you don't think like that. The people who watch the show don't think like that. They can't think like that because then they wouldn't enjoy the show.
Yeah, you can't think like that, and you can't think like that about any rape joke.
You can't think when watching the show. You gotta be. It's a brain dead show.
Yeah,
that's the point of a gag. It's a pure gag. It's not meant to be seriously thought at.
Yeah, it's like the joke. I
so
walked
usually
around
told,
and found
especially
this,
in this case, they're told in really bad taste.
Yeah,
Extreme situations.
I don't know if I should tell the joke now because apparently Shadow doesn't like rape jokes.
So the next episode falls in where it's about Megumi's friend, which is also horrendous because it shows a character who can't make friends easily, only has one person who is even close to being her friend, and it's Megumi, and let's be real, Megumi is a complete bitch to most people. Like, has no interest in most people, and that's again another sad character that they poke fun at. Like, one of the worst is when they leave for the...
you made a simple reference.
The X is called Hot Springs, and she keeps showing up, and it keeps getting more and more depressing over time because she literally can't do anything but follow around Megumi.
Yeah.
And they even have a letter where she says, like, no, it's fine, I'm adventuring with people. Don't worry about me, I'm having fun. And it's actually just depressing. It's not, like, they were tone deaf the whole time when they were making these jokes. Like, I don't get the point. And one of the worst parts of the episode was when the cat was pulling the Lich's tits. I was just thinking, this is real funny that Darkness is getting raped during this. This is hilarious. This is just, wow, this is so funny. I had to go back and rewatch that part because my mind just shut off during that part. I was like, ugh. Next episode was the Lich and his wife down in the cave, which I thought was like probably one of the better episodes just because of that one character who was actually a good-willed person in the show. One of the very few. One of the others being Eris.
Mm-hmm.
Darkness's arranged marriage was next, which was disgusting and made me despise Kazuma, because Kazuma immediately after, she's back and she didn't get raped. Or I think at that time she still thought she did. No, he didn't.
No.
She's back and she's not raped. I'm gonna go get rid of her and sell her off! And abandon her and force her to a life that she's gonna hate and wants nothing to do with and is going to hate every second of, but that's the best option for me after all this time. It's just...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I can't possibly give Kazuma any credit. If season 3 was just him getting tortured, I would watch it and say, yeah, that's about right. To have no companionship at all
you're
at
thinking
this
of him
point.
you're putting him up there with the guy from School Days at this point.
Don't bring School Days up in this. This is still a conversation.
I'm sorry. I don't want to keep this conversation going is to start jumping around. Come on, we all unanimously agree. We all hate that son of a bitch. Okay, so
he was a very big.
That's what I'm saying. Shadow, would you put Kazuma ahead of him?
I don't know. I never watched it.
He never watched School Days. Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say. I feel like that's something Shadow wouldn't watch.
I haven't watched a shocking amount of things.
It has a very big twist ending. I'll say. You call it a twist, or you would call it inevitability. Ready?
Yeah. Either way, it just gave you what you wanted.
Yeah, it did.
But regardless, okay, never mind. Let's skip ahead of that. All right, so next episode.
Episode 2, which is where they do the there might have been something else, but all my brain's coming up with right now is where they were continuing the arranged marriage gag.
Yeah, I don't know why
it was something different, and they were trying to redeem the characters a bit, but it just didn't.
I don't know why they made Megumi. I know the story reason, but I don't know why they made the story reason why she left for a little bit.
Megumi?
Yeah, I know that she was.
She wrote Excalibur, and put an arrow towards her dick, his dick, when he was out, to get him to come back to his body.
Oh yeah.
Was that the reason that
she didn't want to get yelled at by Kazuma? That's
no, not that. So when they went on to the Ark, I guess they need help with something, and then Kazuma recommends her. I get why
she recommends her because he wanted to get rid of darkness, and he thought that Megumi would have been the only problem because Aqua wouldn't have been an issue to deal with because Aqua was brain dead. Mm-hmm. Megumi and Darkness are the only two who have a brain in this party, and Darkness is usually clouded.
Yeah, because Aqua, he can just literally just tell her money, and she'll be like, "Yes, absolutely, let's do it. I don't care."
Caravan starts was after Kazuma died again, and he's basically immortal. Caravan starts.
Fourth time.
Third?
He only died twice in the actual. I think that's the fourth time. He dies 4 times in the anime.
He dies originally. He dies his in real life. Then he dies once in.
Twice in the novel, ironically.
Snow.
So.
Then he dies once in the snow, and this is the third time he dies because he dies against the lizard runner, queen falling on him, princess or whatever.
Yeah.
Lizard.
Yeah, the lizard.
Caravan, which is, I don't know. Fine, they had one mildly humorous thing, didn't get a laugh or a chuckle out of me, but where he kept apologizing. That was fine. I didn't have an issue with that.
The rock, paper, scissors scene I thought was funny. Well, no, it's kind of stated that everyone has stats, but they just don't, they passively, they don't like another RPG where you're just like, oh, I'm going to put this in defense. They all passively do it.
Yes, that's why Aqua's stats didn't change much, because she has an intelligence of 0, so her stats can't grow very well.
Yeah.
This is why she's going to get outclassed by miles later.
But Darkness put all of her points into defense and magical defense and none into accuracy. That's a pretty shitty RPG, by the way. accuracy as a stat.
No, that's fine. Because accuracy, once it rolls into 110%, becomes crit chance. And you're always guaranteed to hit going against their dodge chance. And then you crit. And then if you crit on a dodge, on an enemy dodge, it becomes a normal hit. That's how old RPGs worked. Yeah, so that's fine. If the characters had any control of their own stats, it's unbelievably stupid how they built. Megami made sense. But that was about the only one. Because
the reason she likes explosion magic only, by the way, is that she was saved by it hinted at the not the Lich, the Wiz. Yeah, she was saved by Wiz, and she thought explosion magic would make her boobs bigger.
I don't think that was ever addressed in the show.
It's not. No, it's addressed in another manga about Megami.
Yeah, one specifically only about Megami.
About her at school, basically, before she knew explosion magic.
Yeah. So while I'm here, I'm gonna dress upon this, but fucking Megami's character's kind of been done. Like all these characters have been done to death. They're not breaking any new grounds, and I'm not really going at it too much. But in the case of they're not playing to their strengths, like Megami's fine. I don't have much issue with her.
Points in magical power,
just sitting in the back doing whatever. That's fine with. But like, for instance, Darkness, it's really, really, really stupid why she doesn't just pick up a shield and use that.
Because then she can't get hit.
No.
Then she can't get hit.
Hold on.
Her whole entire goal
is this gonna get posted or not?
To get hit.
Her whole entire goal is to just be hit by things.
Yeah, you can do that with a shield.
Yeah, but she gets sexually excited just thinking about getting covered in frog mucus at one point.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like that's the mentality of the person we're dealing with here.
A knight with a massive shield, she bravely protects others from attacks, but enjoys it perhaps a little bit too much. Like.
Yeah, but you're thinking too logically again. You're using logic. These characters are not logical characters. The closest thing to logical is Kazuma, and he is illogical shit.
Like this character is from
character in the whole show.
This character's from Valkyrie Connect, and it's not even that good of a like. She's fine. They have a small, brief little snippet of story. She's not that great, but I mean, they at least made the fucking gimmick make sense, in a sense where she uses a shield to protect, and I think she even has a kind of low accuracy and hit range. She's not that strong, but she's incredibly good on the front line. It's like. We start the Axis Culton, and you start seeing why Aqua's the worst thing ever. Because the people branch off the goddesses.
How do people match the goddess?
Which is why Darkness is a genuinely nice person. And
how the guy from the first episode who was a follower of Eris was willing to give her money. You know, even though he believed she was a false DD because she's a really nice, earnest person. And the followers kind of follow who's their worship, personality-wise, it seems like. That's why the whole cult of Aqua was just all kind of a bunch of sick, messed up people. It was funny when a little girl asked him to write his name and it was on the piece of paper.
I saw that coming like 3 miles away. I didn't.
You did, but it's still
but it was funny.
It's still worth a giggle.
Okay, I found it funny.
I found that funny. I can't argue that. That was funny. I knew it was coming, but I still laughed.
I found that one. That one's.
All these episodes really did is piss me off about Aqua more because she's sitting there in the receptionist booth, and she's not the receptionist booth, but the repentance booth or whatever the fuck it's called. And she's sitting there, and she's giving her followers advice, and she's like, Eris pads her chest, and I'm like, how fucking petty can you possibly be? How unbelievably petty that your holy chant or praise or whatever that you're giving to your disciple is that she pads her chest. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like,
Yeah. She's not meant to be a good goddess. She's meant to be a self-absorbed asshole.
Yeah, and that would have been fine for an episode. This was 20.
And she fits the character. Like,
yeah, there's no character.
That's the part of the joke. Yeah.
Yeah, and for a single
That's the
season
problem. It
show,
ran
this
for
would have
2
been great.
seasons. It ran 2 seasons. It's running too long. If the author says there's no 3rd season, that's fine. But there's rumors that there's already a 3rd season. And if the fan demand is high enough for it, it'll get a 3rd season. Because the author probably will become invalidated. That's happened before, and it'll happen. It'll always happen. Studios get the right.
I don't mind if it gets another season. I'm not gonna watch it most likely unless it gets recommended. Discord cut out.
Because it won't be allowed to recommend it.
Unless it gets recommended again, I'm not gonna mind watching it even if it does, because it'll only be one most likely. And if anybody else enjoyed it, I have no issue with enjoying it. I wish I can enjoy more things than I do, because that means there's less in the world that I can enjoy watching. I feel like I should add this in here because I've said this before, but I don't know in what order episodes are going to come up, or if anyone's even going to watch the other one, so I need to say it a couple times, I feel. Like, that's, by all means, good for you if you liked it. I can't even begin to tolerate this, though, in the slightest bit.
Yeah, which is, I think, what a stance more people should take. Where I can't stand this because I think it's utterly garbage, but if you like it, then go shoo-ho.
Yeah, no, that's a fine perspective. I mean, again, that's just, that's a fine perspective. There's no reason to say, if you like this, you're a bad person. That's kind of a stupid mentality to have anyways.
Yeah.
It'd
be like you were a character in this show.
It would be like your Kazuma, yes.
Yeah, you'd be just an asshole.
Or you're the MC from
School Days.
Full-Time Magister. Or you're one of the main villains.
Yeah.
Not really a big difference between the two.
So I have a question in the hot springs that was the only thing that really stood out that didn't make any sense. So the slime guy's there with, it looks like he's partied up with that elf or whatever that's sitting on the opposite of Kazuma.
Yeah. That
Kazuma's just staring at the entire time.
Yeah.
He's talking to her like he's a part of her party. Why is he talking to her? He's apparently been there for a long time, poisoning the supply slowly over a long variety of time, and this town's gotten to him and drained him. Why is he talking to a random person? Why is she okay with him just sitting there talking to him? To her. That made no sense once you figured out who he was, because
she has no issues talking to some random dude in the hot spring.
They talked like they were party members, though.
Went in there knowing it was the.
Well, they probably knew he's been there for a while. She's probably either been there before, or I don't know. Not really elaborated on. It could be I don't know
her sexuality.
Yeah.
Yet when Kazuma looks at her, she gets creeped out.
Well, he was staring at her very perversely.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's just using a blank face the whole time, but.
There's a difference between a guy with shades on and a box on his lap and the guy with the box on his lap. One of them has a dick in it. I won't tell you which one, but one of them has a dick in it.
Like, the way both of those characters were staring at you, you can tell the intention of one over the other. Okay? Like, it was very clear when Cosmo was staring at her. Even though it looked like a plain face, you could still tell from the way he was positioned. And just everything, like, he was just staring at her. He was undressing the naked woman with his eyes. Is a way of saying it, I guess. That's why she's freaked out when he was staring at her. But she was able to have a nice conversation with the other guy.
So, episode 20 is where it ends, and they do the big fight.
Yep.
Where it pisses me off that Wiz didn't just ice Aqua at any point. Because she's shown that she's actually incredibly strong. And just gets tossed around by Aqua for the most part because she's too good-willed to otherwise do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, she could totally fight Aqua.
No, there's no doubt in that. She could have insta-killed her. It's just... She's too nice and gets thrown to a near-death position like, what? 4 times? Because of her
the thing with that is
just being a bitch.
Well, no, the reason she's so nice is because this goes in the book again, which I've read.
I don't think the book has much to do with the show.
No, it does about certain characters.
I-
Like it stated that
A lot of the
something-
interactions skip a lot of important like interactions and information that.
So what
Explains
you're saying is the
why
show is
certain
trash
things
in
are
comparison to
happening.
the books.
Certain information
well, if
were
you,
just changed in the anime. for
Yeah,
some
it was only
reason.
slightly,
Makes no
like-
sense.
yeah, that it was
It's a
kind of
lot
like
of-
that.
Range creative liberties they were allowed.
Yeah. So basically, the guy with the mask was the first person she couldn't attack, and she got overly like, "I need to kill this demon," and I think her whole entire party died. And he gave her an option to basically become what she is now, to get more power. And I read this in like over a year. So yeah, where she basically like got into her greed, and now she's just really nice to try to like make up for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if
Hello?
you're saying this doesn't merit the show any.
I know. I'm just giving a little more backstory. It looks like Red Souls have my
Mhm.
problems. Okay. While we wait. How's your day been, Shadow?
Yeah.
Read it?
What's up?
There? Okay.
Sorry, what's up?
I'm looking at how many games on my icons I should probably uninstall.
Okay. So 20 is a big fight happens, and then after that there's the what's it called scene? Where they just head back.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about the
So, the show also doesn't make sense because
No,
when
it's
there's no consistency in it,
written
and I
to-
get it, gag. Yeah, I know what you're gonna say, and it's just gonna loop the same thing that's been said this entire time. But
Yeah.
when he dies, he's a skeleton. But the first time he dies, he doesn't have his head cut off. Well, the second time he dies, he doesn't have his head cut off. The third time he dies, he doesn't have his neck broken. Why is it in this time he's a skeleton? Because no reason.
It was a joke.
Just
It was
there.
it was a good point to try and make people laugh.
Yeah.
It threw off what you were expecting, to make yourself laugh. Just kind of like when shows break the fourth wall from time to time. That happens.
yeah. You mean Deadpool's whole entire character?
Yeah.
I
He's the
wouldn't
extreme
begin
case.
comparing this to Deadpool.
No. We're just saying it's like it's an intentionally created inconsistency just to get a laugh. That's what he meant by that.
Yeah.
It's inconsistent. That was intentionally created for that point. Was to be that thing be inconsistent because when they were writing it, the author was like, you know what, this would be funny if he's a skeleton now. I can get people to laugh at this. I feel like this would be funny. I
How?
think this is funny, so other people would, and
I
people
don't-
find it funny. I understand that you don't find
Skeletons.
it funny.
Ha 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 ha.
No, the fact that he just shows up as a
Shadow,
skeleton.
you can't say that. We both had fun in Diablo 2 where I was naming my skeleton.
Yeah, because skeletons are humorous. But fucking no
Shadow
reason.
just gets more
Did
annoyed
you-
over
did
the
you- Do you
inconsistent.
understand what you were what you said just now?
Skeletons
Was
are
that-
humorous. Yeah, I know what I said. That was a joke, Poison.
I like
Better
that
than
joke.
most of the show's joke.
Nah. That was a pun. I
That
have my
was
weakness
not
for
a
puns. Humorous. The bone. Why do I have to explain puns?
That wasn't
That you
a
made.
pun. That was a joke that I set up. Puns are just saying it with the intention of being like if somebody says, "Oh man, my dog's been throwing a ruffus," or some shit.
No, it's like
It's like,
when I'm
wow, he
playing
must be
Ivern.
barking up your tree, and it follows up with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's like when I play Ivern.
It's like that was a line that was intended to be the joke. That was.
Yeah, but I like when you said it. I just heard that over everything else. I love puns. There's so much. I had a
They're
dream when my
punny,
hand got
is
cut
what
off.
you wanted to say.
Then
no,
did
I
someone
had-
use your hand as a pun?
No. Everyone was really shocked around me, and I said, "Oh, come on, guys! I don't know why it's hurting. I can't put my finger on it. Can you give me a hand?" And then I passed out from blood loss.
God.
It was
See,
amazing.
the funnier version of
God.
that is Jackie Chan when he got stuck in a tree and broke 2 of his ribs, I think, and 1 of his arms. And all the staff were just looking up at him, and he's sitting there looking down like, why isn't anybody helping me? And they just start screaming at them like, ah! Ah! And then they start doing stuff. Jackie Chan's amazing. Terrible father. Good human being.
There you go, boys. And Jackie Chan's funnier than you. Damn.
Okay.
Back.
I think most people
I mean,
can
have
agree
you
that Jackie
watched
Chan's
his
funnier than
anime?
them.
Have you seen his animated and not animated season show?
No.
It's where it goes in like it's him animated like an anime, and then it's not. It goes into like him in real life. It's a really weird show, but it was really funny. Not funny, but like when I was a kid, it was fun to watch.
So does anything
Talk
have
about
anything to say about KonoSuba, Rashi, Seki, Ni, Shukafuku? Well, I have one thing to say, actually.
I mean, we've said everything. I've said
I have one thing
everything
to say. At the end, it always wants to treat itself
bad.
like a nice, calm, enjoyable little show, at least in the second half, I think, where they're ending it. Then it's like, hey, look at this nice, calm, enjoyable little adventure you just took. When it's not. It's like the ending makes you think it's anything but what it is, because he's sitting there next to a river, he's fishing, it's calm, there's nice music playing, when that completely is total dissident from the entirety of the show. By miles.
Yeah.
Like, that was another one of the annoyances. That's about all I have to say, though. I pretty much
Okay.
finished everything else.
I have to say, when I first watched it, it was funny. It wasn't as funny the second time because I knew the jokes were coming. But this is like a one-time watch kind of anime. You watch it one time because if you watch it twice, that can help you, or someone recommends it to you, or someone forces someone else to watch it. But other than that, I feel like the second time's gonna be worse just because it's like if you watch a comedy. This like
I used to watch comedy
I don't
specials
know.
all the time, and I thought they were still funny the second time.
Again, that depends on the type of comedy. Because there are some comedy movies I can watch over and over again, and sometimes get funnier after the first time.
well, let's see if
Shaun
you
of
don't
the
catch
Dead,
a joke.
one of them.
Oh no, just
Shaun of the Dead was funny.
funnier, but sometimes they just
But Shadow, you can't
It
make fun
depends on
about
the
people
movie.
dying.
No, you can.
Okay. Can I make my rape joke?
I mean,
See,
if
this
you
whole
want to be
time.
on air making a rape
he's just
joke.
gonna sigh. Worst case, he'll just sigh.
Yeah.
Like, you might as well just get out the
The
way. if you wanna
scenario
say
is
it.
fine. It's just, it would have been fine. I would have thought that would have been a mildly
Premise
humorous
of which
scenario.
they-
Remember, I said
The
this.
premise of which they
It would have been humorous
was
if
the
she
issue.
didn't have a mental disorder that made her incapable of protecting herself. But she had a mental disorder that made her incapable of protecting herself, which made it disgusting. Also, it was somebody that he cared about for at least a little bit, and it'd show interest in. And then they just throw that all away for that.
for the cheap joke.
But continue.
Okay. I'll leave it for after.
Okay.
I'll make the people wait for the rape joke.
You'll forget it by the time we do the next one, so you might as well get it out the way.
No. I mean, like some people might find that like utterly appalling. So I'm not gonna polarize
Watch
people.
KonoSuba.
Yeah.
They're either sitting in my corner or
Everyone
your
who-
corner by this point. The decision's already been made.
They
And if they
It's
haven't
not-
watched it, this is one other thing I want to say. If you
tilted
haven't,
towards the side.
if you haven't watched
Me.
KonoSuba for whatever reason, and you're at this point and you are listening to this, but you are kind of interested, watch a compilation of the Megumi scenes, and you're gonna see all the unique things that they had to offer, sorta. And then just you're good with the show, basically. That's my recommendation.
I wouldn't say that. I would say go watch this.
If
Go
I
watch
watched a
two
compilation of
episodes, you find
just
the humor.
Megumi, I would have had a 200% better time.
You know what? If you want to watch this, if you're still here and you haven't watched this show, it's fine. Watch the
Still
show
here. God, why are you still
before you're about to go to bed. When you're tired, you're worn out. All right, so you don't think about it like somebody here,
I would recommend
and you
Boba
don't
Bo
try
instead.
and analyze anything. You see, I would, but it's Bobo.
Which is a show that goes to
Boba.
such lengths that even the title itself doesn't take itself seriously.
Yeah, no.
When I was a
Or
kid,
you can watch Space Dandy.
I
That's
laughed
another good
much
one, I
more
think.
boba 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 than I did
I
this.
think you forgot
You were
about
also a lot younger when you watched it for the first time. Yeah.
I was
How old were
16
you when you?
when I watched it.
Yeah. What age do you think most people who watch this are? 30? You're right.
Probably.
Probably
Most of them
not.
are
Probably
shut-ins
more
that
like,
probably.
probably like 15 to 18. Would I say would probably be their big group or demographic. But
But other than that, ratings, I guess.
All right, then mine.
Yeah, you said
I think
unbiased.
Reddit
8,
already did his
biased.
too. I think
did
we
you?
all already did
mine
it.
was done like I did mine
I
at the
didn't.
beginning.
I think
I
you
didn't do
did.
mine at the
I
beginning.
remember.
No.
Go on.
If I
Say it
did
again
I?
then.
Okay. Okay, might as well say it again because I feel like I didn't say it. I'd give it an 8, biased 8.
The fact that you both rated it on par with Wolf's Rain makes me disgusted.
Look, I again, you know what?
Hey, if you remember, my Wolf Rain was 6. I rated this above Wolf Rain.
No, my grade on Wolf Rain's the only one that matters to me. It's
That
why it
is
was.
not a
It's why I was so torn in giving it a 6 even, because I thought it was too close. Because it's going from class to 0 class.
Look, KonoSuba goes out to do one thing, do it a certain way, and they do it.
They do it
to
good.
the general mass, and they do it in a way which was really popular to where, you know what, it became its own genre. Is it for you, Shadow? No. It is not. And I understand that. But it is for a lot of people. Okay? Usually, you know, I understand how bad the jokes are. I understand how fucked up the situations they created are. But you know what? When I come home after a 14-hour shift at work, I find the shit funny. I won't watch it when I didn't do that. You know, I was like, I won't watch it just normally. I wouldn't turn it on now and watch it, you know, because I'd think about it and it would start to annoy me. You know,
but after a long day,
when I'm brain dead. And then the jokes just seems funny because you don't think about it. For a show that's meant to make a bunch of just brain dead jokes and be funny to brain dead people who are not thinking.
Community that makes way too much porn about a 15-year-old character.
He's 16.
No, I wasn't talking about him. You know exactly what I was talking about.
Megumi's supposed to be, but she's also supposed to be older because she's supposed to be Yun Yun's age. And she's actually older than Yun Yun. Remember?
Yeah, but they say she's 14 literally in the book and the anime though.
Yeah, she's 14 and she goes 15 during the show.
That is one of the more advanced 14-year-olds I've seen then with Yun Yun.
Yeah, it's a mage.
It doesn't. I don't think that has.
She put RMT into the bus spell. All her skill points.
Okay. I thought you meant developed as in like intelligence. But I forgot. It's us.
No, that's you. That's something you would say.
I'm sorry. I tried to make this serious for a second.
So you know what? The show's funny. The show makes me laugh in the right situation as long as I watch it at the right time. And if I'm watching it at that time, it's an 8. If I'm not, it's a 4. Like, you want me to be honest? Yeah. Like, I did watch the show a little bit, you know, when I was off work, and I didn't like it. But then I'd watch it after work, and I'd love it. Yeah. And that's awesome. It'll jump around for me. It depends on your state of mind.
Yeah, it's just like Jeff Dunham.
What?
I think he's funny at all times. I don't think that matters. I actually
that's a very divisive topic. I think some of his puppets are hilarious. Some of his puppets are not.
Yeah, but overall, his acts overall are just really funny, though.
Yeah.
You don't watch a whole act and say that act sucks for him. Like, maybe you don't like Ahmed, you know, but...
No, I love Ahmed.
Well, I'm just saying, in general...
The only one I don't like is the monkey. Purple monkey.
But...
Peanut.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, it's like, you know, but overall, it's still funny. KonoSuba is not, in my opinion, not like that. KonoSuba, you have to be in the right state of mind, you know, which is not a state of mind.
He came to my... no, that would actually... No.
You know, to be really funny, if you're in a proper state of mind and you're actually thinking, then the show's really bad. I'll agree with Shadow in that regard.
I also agree with Shadow.
You know, I don't watch the show in that state of mind.
I feel like Shadow is has the right mindset about it. He doesn't like it, but he doesn't like. He's not gonna judge me for grading it higher
That's
than
how I am
Wolfram.
with everything that I don't like.
Yeah.
I just feel like I
Some
have
stuff.
to constantly restate that because people forget. No, I will hate it and I will rant and I will shit talk you as a person for liking it consistently. I don't hate you because you like it. I don't have any worse opinion of you because you like it. I'm
Are you
fine
talking
with
to me
you liking
specifically
it.
with that? Or are
Why?
you talking just like in general?
No, I'm talking
In
in
general.
general.
Okay.
Like,
I was
you like
oh,
Dark Souls to an excessive degree, to my opinion.
I do.
I don't like Dark Souls that much.
Yeah, you like.
I
Demon
don't
Souls
think
better,
of
and
you
I
any
wish they
worse
got
for
a
liking
remaster over
Dark Souls. But I'm still gonna shit talk you when you say Dark Souls 1 bosses are the best things ever. That's how that
I
works.
didn't say Dark Souls 1 bosses are the best of better. I think they were designed better, but their designs are worse than Demon Souls. I agree with you. Demon Souls had a better presentation and more varied areas.
Better looking too.
And we can disagree with that one. Oh, we can disagree
I
on that one.
mean, the remaster's going so far to make it look better. By lighting up all the areas, and it might as well be called Light Souls now.
Bright Soul, sir.
Where it's like,
I just
oh
wanna
man,
play
our title's
Bloodbound,
named
and
Dark
like-
Souls. We have a dark oppressive theme. Let's brighten everything up ×2. Why? What were you thinking?
We know half the people playing those games crank the brightness up to max anyways.
That's what I did.
And then still
See?
bitch in DS2 when you go to the down area and it's not the same. Yeah.
Which area on DS2?
The Underblight that was supposed to be really dark and grim. Remember when they showed it off?
Oh, you mean the one that did the one like?
Yeah, and then
piles
they
of
brightened it
trash?
up and the torches were kind of pointless. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then people still bitched, and it's like, well, you can turn it down, and then people download the mod, turn it down, so the area is impossible. It's like, it's why they lit it up.
And the only thing I'm expecting out of it is to fix Blighttown and
They
to.
didn't. They
I hope
actively
they
did
don't.
not let people go into Blighttown in the remastered version. In the remastered version, they were actually telling people to stay away from it. For whatever reason.
Maybe it's a surprise.
Yeah.
No.
No, that's a developer shitting his pants knowing that they should have fixed it and they didn't, and they don't want
That's-
people to notice.
That's like
Before
what
the
Metal
game
Gear
comes out.
Survive did before the game come out, and they gave out a bunch of advanced copies, but they never turned on the online services for those advanced copies, so nobody got early reviews because they already knew what the early reviews were going to be. So they were like, okay, we don't want to hurt our day 1 sales or hurt our day 2 sales because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So overall about Dark Souls now, apparently.
Well,
We've gotten so excited.
Clubs you can talk
Like,
in,
we're already
that's
done
fine.
with
There's no
Konosuba.
issue with that.
we did KonoSuba. That's done. We already all gave our
I
final
can
thoughts on that.
I can end it at any time.
Yeah,
No,
I can
you
even
didn't
snip
get-
it and
We
put it in
already-
another video at
yeah.
the end. Like, it doesn't matter.
we gave
Yeah,
our
but
final
here's the
thoughts.
thing.
It's done. This is just us ranting before I tell you
What?
guys what we're watching this week.
Yeah. What are we
You guys
watching
can-
next week? Reddit Sama?
Zoids.
You don't need to say Sama. No.
Reddit Sama.
Zoids
We're
Battle
watching
Legends.
a really old school show, motherfuckers.
Yu Yu
We're going
Hakusho?
back in the day. I
No.
think it's older than Yu Yu Hakusho, actually.
Yu Yu Hakusho?
No, it's not Yu Yu Hakusho.
Gundam Original?
No, you've never seen it.
Cowboy Bebop?
I love Cowboy
No,
Bebop. Fuck you.
Truthfully, I think it's better than Cowboy Bebop, in my opinion.
Oh, no.
That's my opinion. I don't-
No, I think Red would like the Cowboy Bebop movie much more than he would like Cowboy Bebop.
I watched the whole show.
No, the movie.
I watched
The
every
movie.
single-
There's a
If I
movie.
liked the movie, maybe the movie. Maybe
Yeah.
I'd like the movie.
Oh, this
Cowboy
is incredibly divisive. Way better
Cowboy
than Warner
Bebop
Bros.
was only a good show because of literally fucking one character, and then they had 4 shit characters.
Mhm.
One of those characters just happened to have big tits.
Let's
Okay.
let's keep the characters ambiguous. Don't want to start
Come
flaming.
on. There's
No,
Spike
no, no,
Spiegel, then there's the chick, then there's
Yeah, there's
Ein
Spike Spiegel
the
and
guy.
Faye.
Yeah.
Faye Valentine. No. There was tits.
Then the old
and then there
dude who was
Spike.
nothing.
The old dude was nothing. The little kid was nothing.
Hey,
Okay.
he had a
It's
personality.
why I think you would like the
The
movie much more than
satellite-
most of the show.
The satellite in the episode he was introduced had more personality than the fucking kid. The satellite.
Just because
That
the
episode.
satellite has more
Hold
personality.
on. How long is apologies to distract you, but I need to see. Don't look at those things up there. I was doing stupid shit in WoW.
Shoot.
What's it? Why did my brain just shut off? What were we talking about?
We were talking about Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy
Apparently,
Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop. The show
Apparently,
I'm
you
recommending
just had a scenario.
Bandit King Jin.
What?
Is it
Sorry, I was talking.
Bandit King Jin. That's a show. It's 14 episodes.
Okay, put that in Discord real quick so I can.
I'll pull it up. Yeah, give me a minute.
Cowboy B didn't pull up anything. Oh, come on.
But
15 minutes. I wasn't actually on my computer.
Shadow, you did probably. This probably wasn't as bad, but this funny scenario was this guy was basically in a political debate on Fox News, and he showed a screenshot of something he was researching, and he didn't close all his tabs. So on one of the tabs, people saw tentacle hentai. And to cover it up so people didn't think he was weird, which I don't know why people think he was weird watching that. I don't judge. He was like, "No, I wasn't watching it.
I was
watching
studying
it with
it. I
my
was researching
family."
it.
No, it's worse. I was watching it with my family.
Oh, okay. So I didn't realize they made an extra 3 episodes for this show.
Really?
Oh no!
Oh, well, you get a little bit of a surprise now.
I got a little bit of a bonus for myself. I mean, that's for me, not for you guys. Here's the show. There's a link to it.
Picture.
It's 13 full episodes.
Oh, damn. Rudded,
By the way.
mind if I make a suggestion?
Sure.
No.
At the end of this, do you want to tag on the cowboy? Wow, there is porn on both the ads of my
You
screen.
want to do the
Shit.
Cowboy Bebop movie? I'm going to put the Cowboy Bebop movie.
You
in.
can throw it if you wanted to. I'm bringing this to you because
I'll
this is
do
your
it.
choice. So.
I'll do it.
All
I
right.
can do it.
Because
do that.
I would be interested in seeing how you find that in comparison to.
Again, like, I like look, with Cowboy Bebop, I liked every episode that was themed
You like the story episodes, yeah.
for the most part. I like the story. I just liked the themes, or the stories around Spike. Like that was it. I didn't like Faye's backstory. I hated her story.
No, this
Her
is
story
this
was
is
horrible.
mostly a Spike
You know what I mean? Like-
episode.
That was like Faye's story was freaking
How much
horrible.
food do you
I-
have in that game?
What?
Do you not play that game? Do you just log in? Are you one of those people?
Just log in, yeah.
Oh,
And
you're
it
the
keeps
worst
giving
type
me
of
free
person.
food to the point where I capped, and I'm like, oh well, I'm not gonna use it.
Well, his army's well.
I don't like the game. I think it's a shitty game. I just spent too much time on it.
I know that game too, and I was like, this game isn't fun.
Like I saw that game in the store, and I was like, "That's the game Shadow doesn't play."
Joke's on
Apparently
you.
you're-
I play everything. It's just all terrible, and I hate it.
No, it's a mobile game. What did you expect?
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, I like this show because they don't. Like I don't know. I'll get into it when
What's
I like
it
the show.
called? Post a
Like,
picture so that the people know, like, if they haven't heard of it. Probably.
No, I'm already showing it. Like,
Oh, you are. I'm hunting.
you're
Deer,
hunting
so-
pictures. Yeah.
I
Okay.
was about to say you can
I mean,
literally
like,
just click on the link. But,
I've seen this intro title before. I've seen that. I know I've seen that, and I've heard of
Oh, it looks super edgy.
it. Yeah, a bit.
It
So
is.
remember, we're watching we're watching Bandit King
the
Jin,
movie too.
and then the Cowboy Bebop movie after. So
What? Watching Cowboy Bebop movie?
yeah, well,
Yes,
it's only
he
13
wants-
episodes,
He wants me to talk about the movie too.
and since
like-
he's doing a
Uh,
13 episoder, like might as well
Yeah.
because a movie's like 2-3 episodes even. So
Yeah, so it
It doesn't-
rounds
yeah, it's-
out compared to the usual like 20 we've been doing the last couple weeks.
mhm.
Well,
Yeah,
the only
there's a
reason we
couple
did
of runs.
24 this last time is because.
Because it's 2 weeks. I understand.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I understand.
The
but
people won't see this because my guess
No,
is
this
Shadow
cut
has
out.
edited
This is
it.
No.
cut out. It's
No,
gonna be
no,
out.
no.
not
This may be in. I
not
don't
the-
know. Depends.
Not this specifically. I'm saying they
They won't see the
those 2
divide now.
weeks.
It's good. That's why I'm also waiting a bit because it needs to
No,
be.
they won't know about the gap.
Yeah.
no. But it'll all seem like one thing to them for the most
Yeah.
part. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So they'll be like, "What are you talking about?" The 3 people who watch this.
Who are watching it
Um,
in a row, getting spoilers for multiple shows.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I watched this show. You see 3 idiots talking about an anime.
Yeah.
Might as well. Then they're like, wow, these guys are really stupid.
Yeah.
You know?
That Reddit guy has no points at all.
No, absolutely.
That
not.
poison
No,
guy starts off like he's gonna make a point, and then gives the most vaguest of character traits for the next minute and a half.
Hey, that guy was the vaguest guy ever.
No, that was hilarious. You started off like you were gonna make a strong point, and then you led into he was a guy, and he did stuff.
Really serious
and it's like,
I think it was Darkness is Beyonce. Like you were so ambitious.
Wow, I just realized. Look at that movie title for Cowboy Bebop. Look at fucking. What's the point of having the kid there?
What kid?
There was no point having to get into show period.
No, but look at the position he's in.
I thought that was something else.
It's like it should have been Faye in that position, but
I don't know why they got the little spike behind him, like shooting out of his ass. I don't know why
that's a really oddly framed one, just because of the kid. Like everything else makes sense.
It's weird.
No, Shadow, you thought they was the love interest. It was.
Dude,
it was the kid
don't type in
the
Cowboy Bebop on any hentai site. You'll see shocking disproportionates.
Don't type in Poku no Hero on any hentai sites.
I thought you were about to say
you're gonna see a lot of Frog Girl, but that's
no, you won't. No, you won't.
Snake Bay.
It's only like,
I don't know.
No, you won't. You'll see a lot of Boku and Baku.
Oh, duh. It's like that for Naruto, too, and Naruto Sasuke.
It's like if you type in Hunter x Hunter. You don't get the characters you think you're going to get.
Kiloagon. Yeah, it's almost all Kiloagon.
I know, it's... why?
Like, you're shocked.
Why do you have to ruin my hentai?
Oh, yeah, no, dude. That's what's popular in Japan. Like, literally, a friend of mine went to Japan once, and he was like, he walked into, like, a shop where they sold manga, you know, and it's just this woman walks up, she grabs a Doshin, and she's like, she looks at it, she's like, oh wow, Naruto fucking Sasuke in the ass. Let me get 3 of these. She's just standing right next to him. She just says it out loud. She's standing next to him. She just grabs him, walks up to the counter, talks very politely to the clerk, pays it, and leaves. And he's just sitting there in shock the whole time. Like,
damn.
What?
Well, I'll chalk that up to the speech. I'll chalk that up to they treat sexuality a lot differently than they do here.
I
prefer their manner in some ways and despise it in others, but yeah, I like the openness about it. Like, everyone does it, don't be hiding.
It's not like some dark thing like it is over here. Like, here it's treated as like this really dark thing, and it's like, no, it's not.
Listen, if you haven't masturbated, you're causing more issues for yourself than other people than anything.
I know. We need to convince
It's why when you start boxing, they tell you, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if yours did or not, but most people get told, don't jerk off before a fight, because you need that energy. You need to be pissed off going into it.
My teacher is a preacher. He's not going to say that. Just tell you that right now.
So you didn't get that period.
No, I didn't.
Well, most boxers I've known have had that said to them.
Well, you know other boxers other than me?
Yeah. I used to know one in high school. I knew one in college.
Yeah. My roommate's a guitar player.
You gotta have the quotation points around that.
He plays a very mean banjo. I'll give him that.
I play a very mean banjo.
You play a very angry.
It's like delivering stuff in there whenever he starts playing his banjo.
What?
You remember that old movie where the guys go on a raft and then the one dude gets fucked?
Take me out.
And it gets the piggy thing? It's a super old movie.
Yeah.
Save me, come on and save me from
I should end this.
Well,
By the time we get to Deliverance, I think that's the point where it should end.
You probably did, future you. Future Shadow. Put a picture of a dog up.